Alright, so in honor of 4th of July weekend, I figured I'd discuss how fireworks work. Now, there are a lot of different fireworks, but I'm going to focus on what I feel are the main four: firecrackers, sparklers, Roman candles, and aerial. This last one being the type you'd see at a display. Now, all fireworks are really just small bombs, with the fancier ones using several carefully timed explosions to create the right effect. Most fireworks use black powder as their explosive. Black powder consists of charcoal, which itself is just water and some other chemicals deprived from organic matter, sulfur, and potassium nitrate, this last one acting as an oxidizer, providing oxygen to the reaction. When ignited, black powder creates a small explosion, which can be manipulated to create many of the fireworks you see. I'm going to start with firecrackers, which are probably the simplest firework. It consists of a tube, which is usually made of cardboard, but sometimes plastic, packed with an explosive, with a fuse sticking out of one end. The explosive is often black powder, but flash powder can be used, as well as numerous other flammable materials, such as lighter fluid. The key to the loud explosion, or any loud sound at that, is generating a lot of pressure. This is done by ensuring the firecracker is tightly packed. This allows for the highest amount of explosive gases possible inside the tube. A higher amount of gas, of course, means higher pressure, which translates to the louder explosion, as I mentioned earlier. However, due to the higher volatility, you do not want to tightly pack a flash powder firecracker. The larger explosion results from a combination of metallic fuel and oxidizer, the most common mixture being aluminum powder and potassium chlorate. Then we have sparklers, which are nearly the opposite of firecrackers. Instead of a loud bang, these rely on a slow burn. Sparklers require the usual fuel and oxidizer, both of which it often gets from black powder. However, a metallic powder is required in order to create the sparks, as well as a binder to stick it all together. The binder is often made of glucose, such as starch or a standard sugar, and, when all the components are mixed with water, it creates a slurry that can be coated on a wire. This can then be ignited from one end, allowing the reaction to travel along the wire, creating sparks as it does so. The type of metal used determines the color of the sparks. Iron creates an orange, aluminum or magnesium creates a white, while other metals will create other colors. Getting to more advanced fireworks, we have the Roman candle. The Roman candle consists of a tube, usually cardboard, containing a delay charge, which acts like a fuse, the display component, referred to as a pyrotechnic star, and a lifting charge, which propels the star into the air. This sequence of delay charge, star, lifting charge is repeated for each display. The bottom of the Roman candle has a clay seal, which both prevents the charges from going the wrong way and lowers the center of mass, so it is less likely to tip over. The delay charge is packed tightly in the tube, so the fire can't bypass it, and contains some slow-burning explosive. Pressed black powder mixed with chalk or sodium bicarbonate is a common one, with the mechanical assembly slowing the explosion and the chalk or sodium bicarbonate cooling the flame. Next, there is the pyrotechnic star, which is made of some metal or salt that creates a nice color when burned, similar to the powdered metal in sparklers. Because the stars don't ignite very readily, they often need to be primed by being covered in black powder. For the lift charge, lifting powder is used, which is just black powder mixed with dextrin, which acts as a glue. Lifting powder burns at a proper rate that is powerful enough to lift the star well into the air, but not so powerful as to destroy the candle. In igniting a Roman candle, you light the top, which burns the delay charge. After that, the flame reaches the star and quickly passes to the lifting charge. The lifting charge shoots the star out of the candle like a gun, while the chemicals in the star burn, creating a nice color. This process repeats for each display in the firework. Interestingly, the name comes from the fact that captured Roman soldiers would have their hands cut off, and people have lost hands from using these. Now we move to the most iconic firework, the aerial firework. This just consists of a bunch of pyrotechnic stars mixed with bursting powder inside a paper container that is timed with a fuse. The aerial firework is launched from a mortar, which is just a short metal pipe with a lifting charge at the bottom. When launched, the fuse is ignited, which times the explosion until the firework is high enough in the air. When high enough, the fuse lights the bursting charge, which is often made of black powder and works like a firecracker. This disperses and ignites the pyrotechnic stars. The stars then fly through the air, creating the display we're accustomed to seeing. To create patterns, you just organize the pyrotechnic stars in the shape of that pattern inside the aerial firework. For example, if you organize the stars in a circle inside the firework, then, when the bursting charge goes off, the stars will form the shape of a circle in the air. The same is true if you want to make a heart, cube, smiley face, or any other pattern. Simply organize the stars in the shape of that pattern inside the firework and light it off. Aside from patterns, there are multi-break shells, which burst in multiple phases. This can be done by having smaller aerial fireworks inside a larger aerial firework, or by having multiple sections, each with its own fuse. This allows for the multiple explosions you see in some fireworks. Nevertheless, hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned something, and see ya!